in the general.
Governor, earlier today, Donald Trump was on Fox and Friends, and he said he was getting his, quote, getting his ducks in line for a third-party run in the event whoever the GOP nominates isn't what is up to what he feels is the standard for the GOP. What do you think of that? Do you think he will do something like that? If he did, where would your support lie?
Well, I'm getting pretty sick and tired of people condemning and cutting down Donald Trump for calling it like he sees it and exercising his right as an American to express his views, even via talking about a third-party candidacy. I couldn't do that because I believe personally that a third-party candidacy will allow some greater assurance that Barack Obama would be reelected, and that's the last thing on earth I want to see happen. But with Donald Trump, he has been a stalwart, a fiscal conservative in his ideas that he has supported and that he has progressed as he flirted with the idea of running in the primary. And until he switched to his voter registration to independent, you know, he was a strong supporter of many of these Republican candidates, and a lot of them turned on him, I think unfairly, unnecessarily, in order to appease, you know, I guess the more politically correct people in their own campaigns. And I thought that was unfortunate because Donald Trump has a lot to offer. He is a businessman. He understands that government's overreach just quashes the ability for him and others to create jobs for the rest of us who so desire to make it on our own and not to look to government to make it for us. So, you know, for those who have continued to cut down Donald Trump, I say, you know, enough is enough. Just shut up about it and don't vote for him if he's a third-party candidate. Work even harder for your candidate. And, you know, I assume in that GOP we'll find out who it is, if not via Iowa tomorrow, then through South Carolina, through New Hampshire, before South Carolina, and then Florida after that.
Sure. Governor, staying on that third-party candidacy, Ron Paul has maybe indicated, maybe he has, I don't even know where it came from, but at one point or another, the thought of a Ron Paul third-party candidacy was out there. What do you think of that one?
Well, with Ron Paul, too, as with Donald Trump, you know, I respect that they have that right to, you know, to decide to perhaps mount a third-party candidacy. However, I just see, based on history, based on what I know about campaigns, is too often it allows the power of the incumbency to be strengthened and for that incumbent to stay in there. In this case, Barack Obama, heaven forbid that we have to go through 4 more years of Barack Obama and his failed socialist policy. So Ron Paul, he's got some great things to offer. And too, you know, I am surprised that so many people are forgetting that he is the one who is running with scissors, to paraphrase Daily Caller, who says, yes, Ron Paul understands that we need to cut domestic spending, not just rein in kind of that trajectory of growth of government, but to actually cut it so that the private sector can grow and progress. Ron Paul's got some good ideas in that respect, and he has the strongest, I believe, most loyal base of support. That's why he's going to do well in Iowa tomorrow. And with